On the news tonight, FG NDDC IFAD Life ND project begins agribusiness training for 1,000 incubatees in Ondo State. GMT Market Outreach empowers traders in Akoko Northwest Local Government. Good evening and you're welcome on Nta Akure News at 7. I am Abdul Karim Ahmed. Now the news. There are renewed calls for the full inclusion of the IDPs ahead of the 2027 poll. This is coming on the heels of the perceived growing concern over the potential disenfranchisement of numerous internally displaced persons. Timothy Yusuf reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission, TAF Africa, and other electoral stakeholders are driving the move to reverse the growing trend.
Have estimated that more than 4.6 million Nigerians are displaced across Adamawa, Benue, Borno, and Kaduna states, with about 2.4 million potentially eligible to vote at age 18 and above, underscoring the scale of the electoral inclusion challenge ahead of the 2027 polls. Stakeholders gathered here argued that the displacement caused by conflict, insurgency, flooding and other humanitarian emergencies should not deprive citizens of their constitutional right to vote.
A democracy is strongest when every citizen can participate, regardless of disability, displacement, geography, gender, economic circumstance, or vulnerability.
The INEC National Chairman, Professor Joash Amupito, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to ensuring that displacement does not become a barrier to voting. Represented by the Director of Gender and Inclusivity, Dorothy Bello, INEC believes that the right to vote is a fundamental constitutional entitlement.
Ensuring that meaningful electoral participation for internally displaced persons requires sustained mobilization, sensitization, coordination, and partnership. Together, we can strengthen public confidence.
INEC, the national and state emergency management agencies, camp managers, humanitarian organizations, civil society groups, and displaced communities are enjoined to develop a practical roadmap with clear responsibilities and timelines ahead of 2027 general election. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The federal government has inaugurated a committee to develop a comprehensive national security strategy and 5-year strategic defense cooperation plan aimed at strengthening Nigeria's security architecture. The committee, approved by President Bola Tinubu, has 90 days to produce the strategy, which is expected to provide a coordinated framework for addressing the country's evolving security challenges. The committee comprises the National Security Advisor, the Ministers of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, Service Chiefs, the Director General of the DSS and NIA, and the Special Advisor to the President on Homeland Security. The exercise is expected to strengthen coordination among the military, intelligence, and other security agencies while improving responses to emerging threats. The federal government says the initiative is part of broader efforts to reposition the nation's security architecture and enhance the capacity of security agencies to protect lives and property across the country. The federal government, NDDC, and IFAD Estate Life ND project, in collaboration with the Ondo State government, has organized an orientation program for 1,020 agribusiness incubators selected in the second batch of the program in Ondo State. The beneficiaries, drawn from the 3 senatorial districts of the state, are expected to undergo various trainings aimed at promoting food sufficiency, self-reliance, and employment creation. Toyin Batire reports.
The orientation comprised a technical session exposing the incubatees to the expectations and practical components of the training. The incubatees were selected from about 10,000 applicants to undergo training in cassava production, fishery, poultry, cocoa, and vegetable farming.
It will take us to a higher level if we work according to how they want it.
I gain a lot. I have a standard farm. I have cassava farm, cassava factory.
National Project Coordinator FG NDDC IFAD Live ND Project, Dr. Abiodun Sani, who was represented by the National Market Enterprise Development Specialist Alhaji Nta Akure, congratulated the beneficiaries for scaling the selection process. He described them as a new agricultural revolution in the Niger Delta and Nigeria at large, urging them to contribute their quota towards achieving food sufficiency in the country.
We want to invest in you because we believe your success will lift your communities out of poverty.
Some will undergo training for a month, depending on the enterprise. Then some will equally, some will be trained for about 3 months. So the under 3 months, we have those that are into basic production.
And we are to bring the incubators, the fresh people now, on board to know their incubators and to make them to understand the rudiment of farming.
Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry in Ondo State, Leye Akinola, charged the beneficiaries to take the training seriously and become good ambassadors of the project.
They must be committed to this training. They shouldn't take it with levity.
The subsequent trainings are expected to equip the beneficiaries with the skills needed to become self-reliant and economically productive. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NT News.
Hundreds of marketswomen and traders in Akoko Northwest Local Government Area of Ondo State have received financial support under the Elosoloja Market Outreach, an empowerment initiative aimed at strengthening small businesses at the grassroots. The traders also expressed support for President Tinubu and pledged to mobilize for the All Progressives Congress ahead of the 2027 general elections. Olajumoke Oladimeji reports.
The program, held at Okeagbe Main Market, was organized by the Grassroots Movement for Tinubu (GMT) and sponsored by the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tuji-Ojo. The initiative was designed to provide financial assistance to traders, stimulate grassroots economic activities, and support for federal government's renewed hope agenda. The organizers said the intervention was intended to strengthen the capacity of small-scale traders and provide practical support for businesses at the grassroots.
You could see it on the faces of the women when these empowerments were being given to them, that they are very excited and very happy. At least it will boost their economic activities.
After this program, you see how it will go to help our Iyaloja in our market for those downtrodden.
The beneficiaries expressed appreciation for the support, saying it would help improve their businesses and household incomes, while appealing for more sustainable empowerment programs.
It's giving allowance to everybody and empower the traders.
We are so happy for this empowerment. We are still looking forward for more. So when it comes, we are ready to take it.
The initiative is expected to support more grassroots businesses and strengthen economic activities across Akoko Northwest Local Government Area. In Akure, Olajumoke Oladimeji, NTA News.
You're still watching the news at 7. We shall be back in a moment. Please stay with us.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% human hair.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair? Since your landlord just increased rent, I saved for this one separately on Money Point.
Ma, you say you save on Money Point?
Yes.
This Madam Money Point here, the array of hair dryer there is Target Savings Money Points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is Fees Savings Money Points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is Save As You Transact, son.
Jennifer, Money Point Save As You Transact, Money Point Fixed Savings, and Money Point Target Savings.
What's up? Why did John don't contribute to it? Where should they? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Adaku to save. You see Money Point accounts there. You know go open a savings account. Now Adaku you choose. I beg everybody inside this my salon. Oh yeah, bring out your phone and download the Money Point app now. Even you, what are you waiting for? Download the Money Point app now. Adaku, wow, open Money Point account.
Money Point, made for your progress.
For staying with us. You can also watch us live on social media via our handles on Facebook and YouTube at Nta Akure. The Ondo State government has banned cash payments in public schools across the state as part of measures to improve transparency and accountability in the collection of school fees and other payments. The policy introduced by the State Ministry of Education replaces cash transactions with a digital payment system designed to provide a more seamless and accountable process for parents, students, and school authorities. Under the new arrangements, payments are expected to be made through the approved digital gateway, eliminating direct cash transactions and providing a clearer record of funds collected by schools. The government says the initiative also aimed at reducing leakages, improving financial accountability, and strengthening the management of revenue generated within the education sector. The development is expected to make school payments more convenient while enhancing transparency in the administration of public schools across Ondo State. Let's now join Favor Olaleye on Business News.
The federal government has raised 7.62 trillion naira from the domestic bond markets between January and August 2026 as it continues to tap the fixed income markets to finance its budget and other fiscal obligations. The funds were received through 8 federal government of Nigerian bond auctions conducted by the Debt Management Office during the period. The latest figures highlight the growing importance of domestic borrowing in meeting the government's financing requirements amid a projected budget deficit of about 31.5 trillion naira. In other developments, the internally generated revenue of Nigerian states rose by 34% to 2.43 trillion naira in the first half of 2026, up from 1.815 trillion naira recorded in the comparable period of 2024, as subnational governments gained access to more funds despite worsening economic pressures on households. The high GR growth underscores the expanding revenue base of state governments at a time where they face mounting financial obligations, including infrastructure developments, social services, worker salary, and other recurrent expenditures. That will be all on business news. In Akure, Favor Olaleye, NTA News.
For the latest stories making headlines in the world of sports, let's now join Gift George for Sports Update.
Nigeria is set to host the 9th edition of the Lagos International Badminton Classics, scheduled for August 26 to 29, 2026, at the Indoor Sports Hall